Governor, you mentioned the mine proposal.
Yeah.
Last week, the mine company felt like they were putting it on put it on the back burner for the time being. Where do you stand on this?
I think if we could get, now, a great qualifier, because you've got to be deliberate about this process, both just in general. I mean, I'm an Eagle Scout. I remember as a scout, we were always taught your campsite should be cleaner when you leave than when you found it. So just in that principle alone, but also I think in terms of the process, we want to be very deliberative. We've been talking with not only Republicans, but people like Bob Jouk up in the Douglas County area. We've been talking to tribal governments. We've been talking to local officials up there to get a feel for a sense of what are the things that need to happen for this to be comfortable to that region, not just overall to the state, but to individuals in that region. But by the same token, you know, I was here, I voted against the Crandon mine proposal. I was here during that, and to me, at least what we're looking at is really a night and day difference in terms of what kind of mining you're talking about. If we can do that in a way, if we can set a standard that shows that we can be environmentally responsible and conserve natural resources and find a way to make the mining work up there, you're talking about literally thousands of jobs that are generational. And while it's not, we were talking about Milwaukee and Racine, in that case, you look at the Northwest, Ashland, Bayfield, Iron, Douglas, counties like Sawyer, I mean, there is huge long-term generational unemployment there as well. And this is something that at least we should be pursuing. We're not lockstep until we make sure we can meet all the environmental standards, but it's something we shouldn't be automatically pushing off either.
What's your sense on the tribes? Are they opposed? Bad River is most of them, right?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I brought this up at the first tribal council meeting, the Great Lakes Tribal Council, and they'd like to have some more talk. You know, there's a real concern out there, just because anytime there's a change made that would have an environmental impact, I think the real issue is trying to make sure it doesn't affect water tables. But you've got, again, that was much more of an issue in Crandon because of the type of mining they were talking about. I think it's going to take some time. I'm doing.
More control over the rivers from the EPA.
Are they what was
Looking for more control over the rivers that flow to the reservation.
the tribal government?
Yeah.
I think that's part of the equation. That's part of, and I know, for example, Kathy Stepp has gone up as secretary and met with a number of our tribal leaders already. I'm going to be in a couple of weeks. Instead of just doing an annual meeting, I have a quarterly meeting where I go to a different reservation with the Great Lakes Tribal Council, figuring that helps us not just on this issue, but overall. If you got better communications, it's a lot easier to get things done.